Hey, my name's Ollie if you haven't met me before, and I'm a videographer and director, and today I thought I would take you through my process on making a music video with zero budget. So the music video was for a musician called Nell. She makes folk music, and this was her first single she was ever releasing. She came to me asking if I could make her a cool music video, and I was like, I think I can do that. I'd never actually made a music video before, but it's been something I've wanted to do for the longest time. So I said, why not? Let's do it. And I think we made something pretty cool. So I'm gonna pull it up here on my laptop, and I think we should just watch it through, and I'm gonna talk about some of the moments that I think really stand out. Key, before we get started, because I'm gonna be talking about it a lot, this came in absolute clutch. This is a Gecko car mount, I think. No, it's by a company called Dalkin. It's a 2-suction car mount is what it is. And we use this for so much of the music video. It's super cool, but also super scary dangling your entire camera outside of a window on a moving car. We even use it on the opening shot. So let's take a look at the opening shot. So yeah, this opening shot is literally just the car on that mount. I framed it so we could see Nell in the wing mirror. I really like this shot because the lighting just turned out really good. We had to play around with it for a little bit to get the sun to come through the windshield onto Nell's face, because I realized that if Nell was sitting in the shadow, you couldn't see anything in the car because I was obviously exposing for the highlights. So we had to get her face in the sunlight, and I was really happy with the final shot we got. Then we did exactly the same technique for the second shot, which was literally the car mount on the passenger's window, and that's looking back on the car. I wish we'd done more shots of this, because this is one of my favorite shots in the music video. It's so cool, and I definitely want to do more POV stuff like this. There's something sick about seeing the car moving on, and that's a whole motif, cinema of this music video is transitory, moving to the next thing. And I think that is just a brilliant establishing for this music video of this idea of driving to the next thing or moving on is literally a car driving away from the background. The bulk of this music video is 2 timeline narratives. One is filmed on a camcorder and the other one is filmed on my Sony a7 IV. And we split between the two. These were filmed at exactly the same time, and we had Nell just chuck a jacket on and then take the jacket off. I'll be honest, we got to the filming and we were wait, you've only got one outfit. We didn't think about changing outfits for the past and the present, and we were screw it, just chuck a jacket on, take the jacket off. And it worked. We could have done something better, but it worked. And sometimes what works is the best thing you can do. So as we were driving, we went past this really cool flower shop. This was the one location that I actually hadn't prepared beforehand, but it was one of my favorites. I wish we had spent a little bit more time there taking cooler shots, but you know what, I got what it needed. I quite like the transition of the zoom into the sunflower and then the push out using the modern camera. At this stage, obviously the narrative, it's not very clear that these are 2 different times, but it's the establishing of that. And then we go into more POV driving shots of Nell in the driver's seat. You'll see that in the opening shot, we have the window, you'll see the window of the driver's is half down, because I felt weird having it halfway down. But then for the rest of the shoot, I had it just all the way down, because it means that you can see Nell's face way better. And I'll talk about this later, but you can see her lip syncing the words, and I'll talk about it more soon. This is actually my favorite location, and this was a location that I had scouted a few weeks prior, and it was this wharf, and I love this transition of punching into the wharf one way and then pulling out of the wharf, and that was literally just the Sony on a slider. I have a syrup slider, and I just did a back pull as Nell walked forward, and then all of these shots on the wharf are all done with a slider. Just because I was oh, it's around the water, it's around the wharf. I want everything to be moving and fluid and dynamic. Whereas most of the other stuff is handheld or locked off in the car. This is the only location that had the slider. So each location sort of has its own feel to it, I guess. I love that look. It's my favorite shot, actually. I think it's my favorite shot. I don't know. I've already said that about one of the other shots, haven't I? But I just love the light through her hair as she looks up. I just think it's so good. And the slider push-in is so good. So good. So good. And then we cut back to some VHS shots. which is obviously the past. More slider shots. I just think that this is fantastic. And I shot it myself, so what can I say? We flicked to more driving stuff. I definitely could have done the driving stuff better. I'll be honest, this was my first time ever using a car mount. I bought this for the shoot, so I guess the budget wasn't zero because I spent like $100 on that thing. But I definitely want to use it again for another shoot because it's so cool, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface on like using it. Then went to the Auckland Domain to shoot the next sequence. This is probably my least favorite sequence because we were running out of time when we shot this. We shot this sequence last. And the light was like really miserable, and I just didn't shoot enough. I'll be honest, this one was all like meant to be locked off and solid because this is like her contemplating, whereas the wharf is slider and the next scene at the beach is all handheld, you'll see that, whereas the Domain was all meant to be locked off and solid, and I just didn't shoot enough. And there is a happy medium where you don't shoot enough or you shoot too much, and there's finding that like happy medium of the right amount of coverage. And definitely at the wharf I would say I almost had enough. I kind of wish I had a little bit more, but then I know at the Domain I did not shoot anywhere near enough. And music videos, unlike other films that I sometimes do, music videos you have to fill a certain allotted amount of time. Like, you just have to, because the song is this long and you have to make that time. And I do remember editing the sequence together and being like, I don't have enough footage, but I made it work. Kudos to me, I guess. Actually, I did it just by lengthening the next shot, which is just her driving and singing. And while she does this, I'm going to tell a little funny story about this. I thought, oh, it'll be easy as to sync her singing with the song, because I'll just get her to sing the whole song all the way through from beginning to end and just get her to do it multiple times. But the problem was, I then had we went driving around for like 40 minutes. I had a 40-minute clip of her singing the song over and over, and I didn't know when it started and stopped. And I couldn't sync it to audio, obviously, because it was just like out the window. It was just like that out the window the entire time. And I was like, well, this is useless. So I couldn't sync it that way. So that was tricky to edit. A little bit of an editing tip. Have something clear to be like, this is where I'm starting the song again now. So when you get to editing, you save yourself a bit of time. And then we come to the beach sequence, which I absolutely adore. I knew it would turn out good, and it turned out better than I thought, I'll be honest. And it's now running down the beach. It's so sick. This is the handheld sequence. It was just cool. It was just fun. We shot this like in the evening on sunset, and just the location was cool as. It was just really nice. I don't have much more to say. The wharf there was pretty cool. Another wharf, but different this time. Not on a slider, handheld. Very cool. VHS stuff was sick. Okay, and then we go to the nighttime sequence. This sequence starts with the car mount on the corner of the bonnet looking into the passenger and driver's seats, and this was probably the shot we filmed the most of, and I used it the least. We did this shot during daytime in all the locations and at nighttime, and I only used this like 2-second clip of her at nighttime because it just didn't turn out as well as I liked. I shot this entire music video on a 35mm lens, and so this shot just didn't look that great on the 35 at the aspect ratio I was filming it in. It just felt too cramped. And so if I was to do it again, I would shoot it on like a 24 or, you know, something wider. And I just think it would be way better. That's my 2 thoughts. A funny goof about this scene is that you can see when the light shines up, there's the suction circles on the driver's window from where we had the suction earlier that day. Good one. Just didn't notice that until we published it. And then the last little bit is at the Pink Bridge, and these shots were sick. I was so happy, and it's kind of the reveal and the culmination of the story of like the 2 narratives, and it's kind of where they meet because we're kind of going backwards in the modern one. I'm kind of like Christopher Nolan. I'm basically making a Memento here, guys. Basically. We meet finally, yay, cool. I love this sequence. It looks so nice. The lighting looks so good. The pink like edge light on them just looks so cool. The mixture of the VHS and the Sony camera just looks real nice. I just love the way it blends. This shot here. Oh, you can't see it, but I'm gonna put it full screen. I'm claiming it as my new favorite shot of the music video because it goes so hard. That like edge light, the hair light on him is gangster as from that street light mixed with the pink under his arms. Oh, there's something about that just I was so stoked. And same with that shot of pushing in. There's a lot of shots in this that I love. Yeah, and then the final concluding shot is sick with it drifting in and out of focus in the fade. And that's the music video. Very cool. Thank you for watching. I hope you had fun. I had an awesome time making this music video. If you want a music video made and you live in Auckland, New Zealand, hit me up. I might even make a music video for you. See you later.